usually throw the intro in there. Oh, you already pre-cut the tape. Did you already drink on this already?
I had like a third of a bottle last night.
A third?
Yeah.
You're an alcoholic, bro. Here. You thought I was going to pour for myself first?
No, actually.
I was about to, but then I realized I was in the wrong.
When the fuck have you ever been in the right? I've only seen you two ways, and that's either wrong or left, never in the right. Ha!
Well, I drive on the right as a mailman, so I'm on the right every damn day.
Yeah. That's interesting because being out here in California, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you're up...
Cheers. That is super smooth for...
Fire, right?
Wow.
Good flavor.
What's it called? The left cross?
Yeah. Puncher's chance.
Left cross. Puncher's chance. Jamaican dark rum cask. 14 years, too. That's a pretty good...
I usually, for scotch, I like them 18 or better.
Yeah.
I like them legal, you know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean. What do you mean, bro?
You like them of age?
We're going to have to cut that out, man. I'm just kidding.
Anyway.
Yeah, 18 years or older, but those ones are always priced up so high.
They are nowadays.
400 or more.
Back when I first started drinking whiskey, probably 23, you could find Macallan 18, which was fire back then, for about $180 a bottle. Now it's $430.
Yeah, at least.
Like this whiskey right now, I got at Bevmo for $159, I think, like that, right?
That makes sense. You actually, I was never like really a whiskey person, but I knew it was cool to do, so I started.
Just the dick part?
No.
What do you mean?
No, I don't like that part.
No, the whiskey dick part.
Yeah, I don't like that part.
Me either. You know.
No, but I was never into like sipping on whiskey. You know what I mean? Until like maybe 2 years ago.
Until I got my hooks into you.
Yeah, basically you came over, you brought some whiskey, and you're showing off. You're like, hey, this is the 18 year. Just kidding. Yeah.
I'm very offended right now.
I mean, I've always been fascinated because you see it in movies and like TV shows, like the rich people, golfers, anybody that's like in business, they're either smoking a cigar or they're sipping on whiskey. You know what I mean?
Whiskey's interesting though because it's kind of like, for example, if you're into flower, weed, right?
Yeah. It's almost like a manlier, basically a manlier version of wine connoisseurs.
It is. The problem with wine is it's single serving. Like once you pop that fucking bottle, like you're not putting that cork back in it. You can, but who the fuck does that? So
yeah.
Whereas like with whiskey, like you can enjoy it over again, and it doesn't lose like the actual life and
flavor,
the zest. You know.
Everybody, I guess you're wondering who the fuck is this guy?
Let's not get into that.
And this guy, well, welcome back to the episode of the Munch Gang. But this guy, a friend of mine, I like to call him Vinny from New York, but he is not actually from New York, or he was raised in New York, but he's not from New York.
Don't fucking say it.
But some people would like to call him Vinny the Pooh. It is Friday the 13th, October 13th on Friday, and we're here sitting at the podcast room with Vinny from New York. New York.
Well, what were you going to say? Where am I from, man?
Jersey.
No. What were you going to say?
This dude is actually, if you could tell by his accent, he sounds like he's from Boston.
You motherfucker!
You ain't from around here. I'm walking here. Is that Boston? That's just New York.
It's the interpretation of whatever you think it is
wrong.
Is fine because you wouldn't try to explain math to an ant, right?
No, I don't think so.
Well, so what's different than what we're doing here?
Rumor has it, New York is infested with rats, huge rats the size of dogs. But I didn't know that one got away and is now sitting right next to me. We got Master Splinter over here trying to change.
Just because I worked in the tunnels doesn't mean that the moniker sewer rat applies to who I am.
Dude, I was on freaking Snapchat earlier, my favorite social media platform. And there's news. You remember hearing about, I forget where it was, but there was a woman police officer that was gangbanged by her other coworkers that were also police officers.
I believe that was Nashville, wasn't it?
I don't know. I guess there's new information on it. I guess the chief of the that police station or whatever, or that area, was in on it also.
No way. Come on. So no wonder why you're hearing about this now again.
Yeah.
Because that thing died off like fucking
last
8 months
year.
ago.
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah. And then, I guess they're still going to trial or court. And then new information came out where there's text between her and the chief. And I guess there's like nude photos that were sent to the chief. And then the chief got jealous that the other cops under him had a piece of that and he didn't, and that's how the information got leaked in the first place.
A piece of that?
Yeah. I think his words in the text were like, that's a tight asshole.
How would you know?
I read an article, man. It's always true.
I get that, but how would he know? It's a tight asshole.
Oh, they sent him a picture. The other police officer sent him a picture. He's like, let me see that.
And in all of his police work that he's done, all of his investigations that he's done over the years, he was able to corroborate from one photo that ass was tight.
Yeah.
My man's investigative powers, his prowess.
It's pretty good, huh? Either that or she was clinching.
Well, it just, it confirms why he's the chief.
Yeah, that's right. It's like that extra crease right there.
And they were like, God damn, chief. Like, we know we know why you here, dog. You know?
He said, yeah, that shit got murdered.
But no, man, if that was my wife, first of all,
it's over.
This is kind of political, I would say, but it's not. It's just for what it is. So, any police couple, right? Like if the chick is going to be on the force on the job,
and you're not, or
you're just going to have probably an interesting relationship in a strange, nuanced way, because the whole brotherhood aspect of
the
police force, like they're close, and you can understand why, what they have to go through day to day and deal with. So from an ideological perspective, her relationship with her colleagues might, for all intents and purposes, be tighter, like that asshole, than her relationship with you. Because when she gets home, she doesn't want to talk about the shit that she's dealing with. When meanwhile, the majority of the day, the most stressful parts of the day, the most intense things or most overwhelmingly emotional things, those aspects are going to be shared with colleagues.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe 5 at a time, maybe just one. But it's going to be shared with them and not shared with you. So all those feelings, how deep they go and how you want to talk and share everything. That's
I've always wondered about how, like, having a threesome is hard enough, right? Because you have just enough holes to fill right there. But having 5 people, like, what? There's got to be like 2 on standby, like 2 sitting on bench. You got one as a water boy, the other one's a wide receiver, maybe, unless they had to play with each other. This is getting really gay.
Yeah, my man, why? You bring this up when I'm here, man.
Yeah.
But ultimately, like, that's a no-go. You go to that zone in a relationship, and there is no fucking relationship. You know what I'm saying?
No,
but again, I, in my opinion, it goes back to you signed up for it. Like, you're that guy that's dating, a police officer or married to her. And, like, you have to know, like, ultimately, there's going to be more conversations that take place that she's, I guess you could say, more wrapped up in at work than it's going to be at home. Because when you get at home, as far as I can speak for myself and most people that mature in life, I know you're still young, so you don't get this, but when you get home, you don't want to bring your work with you,
Yeah, and maybe you can't even, since you're a police officer, like, some things it's still under investigation. You can't even talk to them about your,
for sure,
things at work, So
I know this guy.
Oh, you want some more of this?
Yeah, I know you do.
Wait, before you start that story, just take a sip. Disrespectful, brother. Do you really prefer yours?
Holy shit.
Warm like that? I like my drinks cold, dude. Is that a big pour?
I mean, I guess if you're fucking squinting your eyes, it's not.
What am I, Squintwards?
Holy shit, look at how much the fucking bottle's left.
Yeah, it's almost gone. Because we're alcoholics.
If you fucking bartended anywhere, they'd be broke.
Yeah.
You actually would be, honestly, you're primed to be a bartender. You should moonlight. Because you have the driest sense of humor in, like, a great way. And like a way that, like, if I'm a patron, like, I'm going to be like, man, this fucking guy gets it. Like, he knows how to fuck with you. He knows how to fucking sling drinks. He overpours.
Yeah, we'll see if I keep that job.
Well, from what I've heard, you're not the best at fucking slinging mail, so maybe fucking...
Have you seen an Asian bartender? I don't think I've seen an Asian bartender, to be honest.
That's weird because, I got this girlfriend who works with...
Well, that's an Asian female.
Oh, okay.
Asian dude,
Maybe at... what's the Peter Chew's? Because I think Peter goes behind the bar. He goes behind the bar. I don't know if they have... Actually, I don't know if they have liquor drinks.
Do you think Peter chews or swallows? I don't know.
That's definitely not going in there.
It's ridiculous, man.
I feel like you're like the fucking Dylan Dennis of Reading.
What the...
I
ain't no Dylan Dennis, bro.
Yeah, you are. You're like...
Why? Because I'm a fool? I'm just a freaking... a fool. That's what he is.
It's like I always say, and hanging out with you, like, it proves this fucking theory 100% true, right?
Okay.
You do not need to go to the circus to be around a fucking clown.
Okay.
So, we just went out before to the old Thai restaurant, right?
Yeah, we did.
And you notice how I never asked you, like, hey, what's good over here?
Mm-hmm.
Because I know how you roll already, man.
Right.
You're just mad spicy, for one.
For sure.
And, you're telling me, oh, I got this mild dish I ordered. You should try it. First of all, I didn't know there was fucking tripe in it. You weren't like, yo, my man, there's fish in here. You were just like,
no, tripe isn't fish.
What is it?
Tripe is like the inner linings of the stomach of a cow. So technically it's beef.
Oh, I thought tripe was fish.
No.
You're going to have to edit that part out.
Yeah. How embarrassing. White people.
Yeah.
But there was fish sauce in it. Maybe that's a fishy taste that you had.
It's just fishy to know that you're going to try and get me to try something at an Asian restaurant because, like, I know how you roll. You're like a super spicy kind of guy. Like, half the time I see you eating and you're telling me you're fucking sweating, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, if this guy is fucking sweating, I would be running into the bathroom, standing on the toilet, shitting on myself.
Why not sitting? Why you need to be standing?
Because it would be super explosive and, like, dangerous. You know what I mean?
Damn.
You're just, like, I don't know, man. Like, you make me blush when you order food a lot of the times.
Yeah, because all the other times we go out to eat, bro, it's always steak with you, man. I'm tired.
What's wrong? What's wrong with
this dude?
What's wrong with steak, man?
He's like, hey, I got like 3 ideas: Market Street, Steakhouse, Jack's, or CR Gibbs.
You always come at me so hard. My feelings are hurt.
I can't believe that Asian kid said that.
Are you kidding me? Who is this Frankie Chocolate guy? He's sitting here talking this way about this fine gentleman.
Oh my God, man. What are you, from Canada? Like Canada dumb.
That was not that good, eh? Are you always trying to talk about something that I don't necessarily agree with, eh? And
what'd you drop?
When you get old and you fucking bend down and you go,
put it in my pocket. That way, if you put it in your pocket, it's not out of pocket. You know what I mean?
I don't think you fucking understand anything but out of pocket. You know? Like, the way that you roll is so out of pocket. Like, you said to me...
I'm the opposite of pocket.
You're like, my dog, like, how do you feel about Rose Garden? And I'm, like, saying to myself, I'm like, out of all the places that we've spoke about going to, like, we spoke about Rose Garden, like, once or twice.
And you said you were cool with it.
I am, right? But then you're going there and I'm thinking, I'm like, oh, my man's going to get some pho, right? Some normal shit, right? But I forgot fucking now, if we're not being out of pocket, I forgot that you're not a Caucasian. So, fucking this guy, you had more fucking sauce in you than an alcoholic in your fucking smorgasbord that you made. What did you use? What were the sauces that you used? And out of 10, like, did you regret it?
No, I do that every time, man.
You make yourself sweat when you eat.
Yeah, you gotta sweat out the toxins, that bad energy. I had that bad energy that I was getting from you. I had to sweat that out through my food. You know what I'm saying?
There's fucking sandpaper that doesn't rub me as wrong as you do.
Yeah. Shits and giggles.
It's hard sometimes because you go somewhere with someone that knows cuisine and you know food pretty well, especially for this area. And I'm saying to myself, I'm like, yo, all right. I know Frankie knows what's up. He's going to order something that's fire, right? But every time like the dish comes out, it's always like mugu shushu, fucking some crazy ass fucking dish, dude. And then then when I see you fucking eating it, and you're sitting there telling me that you're fucking sweating, I'm in like utter disbelief. I'm like, why can't this fucking guy actually order something that like maybe like he'll be like, you know what, this fucking white boy might want to try this shit, but you just.
I thought it was something you would try.
Sure, man. Just like I would fucking try putting a gun in my head with like one bullet in it and fucking.
What do you want me to do? Order a macaroni salad at the Thai restaurant? Or what, orange chicken? That's probably what you expected.
yeah. Actually, you know, I was like, yo, my man, there's orange chicken on the menu. I know Frankie's gonna be getting that.
No, dude.
Come on, dog.
Dude,
bro.
Orange chicken.
Yeah. Well,
that's like me going to, your spot, and we go to like a steakhouse and be like, yo, let me get the pad thai. Or
right.
You have rice? Can I eat rice with my steak? No, we don't got rice here.
Hey, I don't know if this is racist.
It is. If you have to say that, if you have to say, I don't know if this is racist.
Well, I know this is fucking racist, but I'm gonna say it anyway.
Say it.
How about if we went to an Indian restaurant and I was like, hey, Frank.
Mm-hmm.
They got yellow chicken here.
Yellow? Mm. And then I'll say that's none of my business.
Oh, man. No, but curry
is delicious.
Yeah.
It's all, technically Indonesia is still in Asia, isn't it?
Per se, I think it's bottom left.
Or India or whatever it is.
Indiana?
Indianapolis.
Yeah. Indianapolis Jones?
If you think about it, Indianapolis, like, do they
is
really...
the Mecca?
No.
Of, like, India?
No. So, is Indianapolis... They really don't have apples there?
It's Indian apple less. Like, they don't... India...
They have none.
They have less apples. It's hard, man, like living in the Midwest.
In Jersey.
Anywhere outside of California, like you said, it's like you got the West Coast, and then you got everywhere else, right?
Yeah.
If you live on the East Coast, like you're subjected to hurricanes and whatnot. If you're in the Midwest, you're subjected to fucking tornadoes and God knows what else, but...
Yeah, also on the East Coast, you got to deal with a lot of losers, you know what I mean?
That's not very nice.
Yeah.
I feel like you're projecting. Listen, it's a fact that Indian restaurants have yellow chicken.
I've actually never heard of yellow chicken. I think you're just making that up. Yellow chicken? What are they?
I didn't say it was a dish. It's just the chicken is yellow.
The chicken is yellow.
Yeah.
They serve it yellow. Like, what makes it yellow? The chicken flavor?
Like turmeric or something,
Turmeric. Yellow curry, maybe?
Yeah, that's it.
Well, that's racist because...
Because why?
I'm brown.
No, you're wearing a fucking yellow shirt. You're always wearing yellow, whether it's on your...
So, let me tell you this. Why do white people answer the phone? Yellow. Because you guys want to be us.
It's true. So, the one thing that I've learned about myself over the years that, like, it's finally, like, adding up is who I am versus the people that are directly in my life. Like, I don't want to be me. I want to be everyone else. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be you, man. Like
me, the yellow.
I want to be like, my girlfriend. I want to be like my other friends. Like, I don't want to be me, man. It's boring being me. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it's fucking...
I can see that.
Boring being... Well, it's actually... How could it be boring being you if I'm saying I want to be you? But everybody's tired of who they are.
Not me. I'm happy.
Man, I'm fucking tired of you. I'm sorry. I was just hoping
You could be tired of me, but I'm not tired.
I was just hoping you would agree with me with everything I was just saying, but you just didn't want to go there. So,
What, you think your people could just take over my land and just make me agree with everything you say?
see, that's a touchy subject.
Yeah, you guys came to my country.
Who's you guys? Because that's so. With me, you have like 12 different groups of people.
That's true, but specifically me, my parents, they're in the Vietnam War. You guys are there.
Oh, you mean like Vietnamese?
Vietnamese. Yeah, you guys are actually, just kidding. You guys are over there helping us, so I changed my mind. But also taking our drugs, so that's, Actually, these are not facts. I do not know what I'm talking about, so
well,
correct me if I'm wrong, but...
You're not going to hear me correcting you, so...
Speaking of terror, fucking New York, man, fuck. I don't think we ever talked about this really, but you, of all people, went through... I've never met anybody that went through the devastation of 9/11 up close and personal. Did you know people that were... I guess how old were you during that time?
17.
Oh, you were old enough to understand then. Damn.
I was a senior in high school.
Did you see the second plane hit on TV?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did you guys have to exit the school and everything? What happened there? Or lockdown?
They locked down the school,
Yeah.
but I was a fucking clown. I basically, once I found out about it, I escaped per se through the gym and went to my buddy's house who I knew was...
Smoke pot or something?
Well, no, I went there because I knew he was... what do they call that when you have... don't have classes between periods? What do they call it?
Open period, I guess.
Some shit like that.
Yeah.
So I knew, he was going to be at home. And but my biggest concern in that situation was the fact that his family, especially his dad and his brother, were hot dog vendors. They had carts literally on the premises of the trade towers. So for me, I was thinking about him and his family, holy fuck, that's super scary. Not knowing what exactly went on, just hearing that a jet had struck, one of the buildings. And I basically, at that point, I had a car, so I took my other buddy who was a sophomore. We went over to my friend's house, and we got there, and he's got the TV on, and we're watching the first plane, they're replaying it over and over, hitting the building.
Yeah.
We had got there in time, if you want to say that, in order to see the second plane hit the other tower live.
Yeah.
Which was fucking, but when the first plane hit, we were like, oh fuck, that's crazy.
Yeah, because you think the
we're
whole
like,
thing's
there's no, we were saying to ourselves, or I was saying, and I'm sure they were too. It was it doesn't, I don't know, man, that doesn't really seem like a coincidence. How do you do that? A fucking building that big, how do you not avoid that?
How? Yeah, I don't think it was an accident. What do you mean?
No, but what I'm trying to get at is, back then, the first plane hits the first tower.
Uh-huh. How do you avoid the second one?
No one knew the context of what was going on
at that time. Yeah.
Yeah. So everyone was wondering, oh, was this an accident or whatever? And then by the time the second plane hit, obviously everyone fucking knew that this was a terrorist attack.
Oh yeah, that would be true, huh? Because what is it? How long did it take for the second plane to hit?
I think it was 15 minutes later, I think.
15 minutes?
I don't know. I thought it was I'm gonna feel like a jerk for not like remembering this,
Yeah.
but this is 22 years ago. But I think it was like 8:31 or 9:31, and then like 8:45 or 9:45 or something like that. Like not like 15 minutes later.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's so did the kid's parents end up being
Oh, luckily they got stuck in shit. I want to say the Lincoln Tunnel. I don't really know where it was, but one of the tunnels, and they didn't make it to work on time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which was super fortunate because
super lucky.
Yeah,
almost like if it was planned.
They were for sure. They're amazing people, though. Like the whole family, good friend of mine in high school, great person, and one of the people that like I leaned into after I went through growing up. But like to think that, oh shit, like you're there and now all of a sudden like something's happening and it's going to directly affect like one of your friends, it's like fucking blew me away,
Yeah, because you never really understand the full impact unless it's someone close to you, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Like, because I think about hurricanes, because we hear about it over here in California, like a hurricane hitting Florida or like Jersey or something. And we don't really understand the full impact, but if a hurricane were to hit the West Coast, and then I see people that I know or hear people that I know or been in contact with didn't survive something like that, or their house was destroyed, then it's a whole nother story because it's so close to me. Like it could have been me. But damn, the Twin Towers. I personally don't remember where I was or what I was doing. I was probably at school, but I was curious to know if, like, New York people, because a lot of people that aren't from there assume or, kind of judge, like, was it like a terrorist attack or was it planned? I was wondering what people that lived through that devastation, how they feel about it, if it was, especially being so close to the area. Like, do you know, like, from your friends or the people
perspective?
Yeah. Is there anybody in New York that thinks it's a hoax? Or
honestly, for the longest time, like, I'm not going to mention any names.
George Bush?
But even some of my closest friends, like, one of them being out here, like, he thought potentially, not right away, but like a couple of years after, we're talking probably like 3 or 4 years after, all this shit started coming out on the internet that it was a conspiracy. So the whole conspiracy side, like, was so prevalent a few years after the 9/11 attacks online that, like, a lot of the people that I knew that were potheads especially, like, they dove head first into that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and people that you would never think that would be like, into it were like, you gotta watch this, and then you'd watch it and it was presented in, like, I guess you could say convincing manner, but I was never someone that was swayed by some shit like that. Kind of like, you ever see, we're gonna go in a different direction,
but how do they, my thing is, like, how does, especially somewhere like New York that has these most significant buildings and most populated area, you think they'd be under surveillance from either like a nearby Air Force, nearby Navy, somebody that could see this plane that wasn't on the radar or wasn't following air codes per se through, like, because you got to have communications when you're flying in the air. People got to know where you're headed, where you're going, who you are.
Air traffic control and
so
whatnot.
You think they'd be able to prevent something like that? Not saying that I believe it was a hoax or anything, but you think they'd be maybe a little bit more preventable?
I think that at that time, again, you have to, like, just look at things from an even broader perspective. Up until that moment, right? You could take scissors on a plane. Knives.
Batteries.
Fucking, like, flammable goods.
Liquid that was over 8 fluid ounces.
Just all this crazy shit.
Yeah.
You know, that. And the fucked up thing is, like, you can almost say that, like there's so many rabbit holes you could go down with the conspiracy theories, right?
Yeah.
So you could almost say that, like, it was some sort of inside job to impose more fucking rules and regulations on society in order to, you know.
That, yeah, and also to give an excuse for us to fly over there and respond.
Oh, yeah, the whole oil aspect of it was, like, the biggest argument that most people had. Like, you could see that. As far as conspiracy theories go, I never 100% bought into anything. I was always more leaning towards, like, you had these people that fucking did this, and that was that. Like, they just hated us.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, you're like, oh, it doesn't matter. People died either way.
Yeah, and then you had, like, these people that were projected to hate us, and it made sense, you know. But if you tried to adhere to any of the conspiracy theories, like, the one that makes the most sense was that, like, it was about oil. You know, for us to go over there and just, you know, pillage, like, the existing oil reserves in, you know, Iraq and Iran, or rather Kuwait area.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, yeah. I mean, you've heard about the industrial complex and everything, so it's all a money grab. Was there any, like, pushback in New York from locals that are like, no, why would you even talk that nonsense? That was, you know, a conspiracy.
No, because it never had it was like society in general 22 years ago wasn't the way it is now. Like, the way things are now, and it probably started this way like a few years after 9/11, probably like 5 years. Now, for every event that happens, there is automatically, like, and it's systematically, a conspiracy that comes out, like, right away, where people are going to throw out this opinion that there's either some sort of government entity or, you know, cabal that has to do with money that owns the world, that's putting all these different things into play.
I think it's happened before that, though. I feel like it really began JFK's assassination, you know what I mean?
Okay, but what I'm saying is after, like, 9/11, it wasn't, like, until 5-10, like, every single fucking event that happens, like, you can basically find, without even trying, like, a group that's going out there saying, like, why this happened. You know?
Yeah.
You know, and it's like some sort of conspiracy. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. It's just something that I've noticed. People are just so much more opinionated now, and, like, less. I'm not saying that, oh, this event happens, they're telling you why this happens. That's the truth. But, you know, why things happen, the cause and effect, or the outcome, like, may have nothing to do, obviously, with what the mainstream media tells us. But overall, it's just like the directions that some people try to convince us that, or the reasonings behind these things, are fucking insane sometimes.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a likelihood that maybe some of them are true, but, like, just a case in point is, like, you know, which would be one of the most controversial things that you could talk about fucking 20 years ago. And now I could sit here and talk to you about it. No one would fucking look at it as, like, we're even wackos or anything, but UFOs.
Yeah.
You know, like, if we were talking about this on you had a podcast 20 years ago, people would turn it off the second we started talking about UFOs.
True, yeah.
Nowadays, it's kind of just like, yeah, so do you have any new evidence? You know, and if you don't, then it's like, okay, whatever. It's something that we know exists. It's just, is it little green man, or is it fucking, you know, some sort of
gray man? Is it they tall, they short? Because now now there's more people thinking that aliens are shorter because it used to be they're tall and big-headed, right?
Yeah. Kind of like the whole Men in Black facade. Like, you got some fucking little shrimp dick, like, piloting a big-ass fucking thing, you know, like, inside of a...
Back in my day, bro, Men in Black was people from Africa.
I'm doing all right, I guess. That's a good meat suit.
Yeah, that's something else. That's a white collar.
This is a white meat suit.
Yeah. I wonder, because I've heard 911 when you call the cops. Well, that happened after 9/11, huh? Or has it always been 911?
It's always, well...
Or was it just...
Back in the day, I heard this from my parents or grandparents or something. It wasn't always 911. It was like fucking 777 or some shit like that.
Was it different per like state or something?
No, it was universal, but it was like, as far as I remember, but it was like, it wasn't 911.
That's interesting.
As far as I remember. Yeah.
777. Yeah.
You may need to edit that out too.
Is that wrong? We'd have to do some...
Yeah.
I mean, this show isn't about facts, bro. Everything I say...
That's true. Everything that I say is subject to change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Subject to change. We're intoxicated. We have no idea what we're talking about.
No.
Bullshit.
Speaking of which, let's have another one before I gotta go.
Yeah, let's do it. Last one.
Because, you know...
And we'll close it out. Let me finish this.
All right.
Can you pour?
Can I? You know I don't pour, man. I just drink. Okay.
Cheers. Damn.
Cheers.
It's that left cross.
Yeah, it hit us, didn't it?
About to need Blue Cross after this shot.
Shit.
Actually, it tastes a lot better without the ice, to be honest.
That's what I was trying to tell you.
Damn.
It's not even that spicy, right?
No.
That's why last night I was telling you, I was like, man, you gotta try this, like, neat.
Yeah,
that's a good whiskey.
Yeah, this is one you do not drink with ice.
Yeah,
that's a fact. All right,
wrapping
it up, man. Just like a fucking
used condom.
Yeah,
I'd use it again.
Drake would put Tapatio inside there, I heard.
Shit,
not a bad move.
But this, you know, just like what you're saying, not to talk about politics, transgenders, and what else?
I don't want to mention the third one.
Very pleasurable in any one of those categories. But no, I had a good time because for me and for you, I feel like our biggest inhibitions that we have as friends is that while we can talk about almost anything, I feel like we're not having really a vibe and good time until we're cruising a little bit.
A little bit,
you know? And we're cruising.
Right now, I'm on cruise control, actually.
You know the movie Cruising?
Tom
you know what
Cruising?
That's about?
No, I remember the game Cruise. You know, at Chuck E. Cheese, you're all driving the car.
Well,
Cruise Tour 91 or something like that.
Well, now the correlation between what I just said and the movie is gonna, probably gonna want to edit that one out too. So apparently, the movie Cruising, I never saw it. Is
why you bring it up then?
Well, pretty sure it's Al Pacino plays a gay man who goes to gay bars cruising for gay men.
Wow.
And that's
that's probably why we both did not watch that movie.
For sure.
Very interesting
way to end it.
Yeah, very interesting way to end it. Nothing against the gays. I'm just not gonna watch that movie
alone. We'll watch it next week and let you know how it is.
With one eye open.
Yeah, one eye Willie.
There's a lot of Willie in that for sure. Anything you want to tell the Munch gang listeners?
What I would say is, whether you know this guy or you don't, it would be foolish of you to not watch Because I'll tell you one thing that I've learned in life. That the more time you spend watching car accidents, the more time you're going to spend appreciating the fact that you've never been in one. So don't ever come on this show, but make sure you fucking watch it.
Do it. Listen to the man. And if you've already made it to the end, then you have watched it. And all right, guys, thanks for watching or listening to another episode of the Munch Gang. Thank you, Vinny, for coming to the podcast. It was a great conversation.
Sure, whatever the fuck you say, man.
Now you're famous. People out in the world are going to see you on the streets. Hey, that dude was on Munch Gang.
To be honest with you, you do have some street cred, so I wouldn't be surprised.
I do. I feel like randomly, like people I don't even know.
My barber, who's like the coolest chick, fucking knows of you, and I'm like, what? It's like, yeah, like at the Munch Gang. I'm like, really? It's like, yeah.
It's like low key, like it's almost embarrassing to mention to your friends, but you know about it.
It's like the the tweaker that you had sex with on your 21st birthday. It's like, yeah, like
it was good head, but I'm not gonna talk about it.
It was a good time.
Yeah, like the other day, my coworker was like, not to brag about me, but but my coworker's like, hey, one of my best friends was asking if I worked with you. I was like, wow, that's sick, man. I actually love hearing that kind of stuff.
That's what's up.
Yeah, because he mentioned the names. I was like, I don't even know who that is, but that's cool that I'm getting reach. So I'm happy for that. I'm just happy for that. It helps me continue on with this dream I have of being a podcaster, even though podcasts are dying down slowly. But I may be the last man standing, and that's all that matters. And like Einstein said, E equals MC squared. Peace, y'all. What's that even mean?
I don't know.